Yo guys, Bodytags here, and welcome to my new series called Mechanics in Action. In case you missed it, a couple of weeks ago, Riot Games featured my input buffering mechanic breakdown videos on the front page of the League of Legends client. Not only was the feature very helpful in growing my channel, but it was also the most popular and most discussed feature of its kind, which is an honor because other educational YouTubers that I look up to, such as Fi and Foxdrop, have also been featured on the climb. If you're interested in reading the short article about me, I will include a link in the description. Now let's get down to business. In the Riot article that was on the client, one of my older videos was featured, the defensive input buffering video. This video is 8 months old and was made when I was first starting YouTube. I like to believe that I've improved a lot since then, so today I'm going to be bringing you guys a mechanics in action video in which we will address some of the misconceptions from the first video and do a keystroke by keystroke analysis of how to perform defensive input buffering. So let's get into it. Alright, a frequent misconception that I found in some of the comments was a couple of viewers asking how to turn on input buffering in the in-game settings. Input buffering is not something that can be enabled. It is a mechanic that is available to everyone. The only settings changes that I do recommend is that you turn on range indicators if you are practicing input buffering on a new champion. The next common misconception that I read was people weren't too sure how to maintain their buffered abilities. For example, you can't simply cast condemn on an enemy, go back to CSing or issuing movement commands, and then expect the condemn to go off as soon as they enter your range. Input buffering is only active as long as you're rebuffering and canceling your abilities. In the short window that your champion is walking towards the enemy champion to cast an ability outside of its range, your buffer is active. You also want to make sure to cancel when you're walking towards the enemy, because if you're playing something like an AD carry, in the Vayne versus Jhin example, you're going to end up walking right into Shen's taunt range. So not only is it crucial to rebuffer what you've already canceled, it's also crucial to cancel abilities that you've buffered so you don't end up walking into the enemies. The final misconception that I found was that people didn't appreciate just how fast you really need to click to constantly have a buffered ability up. When I said that this mechanic was micro intensive, I really meant it. Consider this analogy. You're waiting at the shop for enough gold to buy an item, and you are spam clicking on it so that in the event that you do get enough gold, you buy the item immediately. Now with input buffering, imagine that instead of clicking buy on your item, you would instead cast an ability outside of your range and cancel it. That's about how fast you need to be moving to virtually always have a buffered ability up. Now let's break down keystroke by keystroke how to perform defensive input buffering in-game. In this first example, I buffer my E outside of my range onto the Shen, and then cancel my buffer with a movement command. I repeat this process over and over during the window that I feel Shen will taunt into me. E right click, E right click, E right click. Don't be afraid to throw in extra right clicks if you need to reposition yourself so you don't end up walking too far forward into the Shen. You don't only have to use movement commands to cancel your buffered abilities. You can also auto-attack minions, auto-attack turrets, or use the S key. In this example, I buffer condemn on Shen, cancel it by autoing minions, and reposition my character model with a movement command to give the illusion that I'm only stutter stepping in a small circle. To your opponents, it will look like you're just last hitting CS normally, but in reality, you're input buffering so that as soon as Shen comes into your range, he gets condemned away immediately. Alright guys, and that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys thought about mechanics in action, and if it was helpful to see a complicated mechanic broken down keystroke by keystroke. Just wanted to make a small announcement at the end of this video. If you ever have any questions about League of Legends like many people did when the Riot feature went up, feel free to drop by my stream at twitch.tv/bodytags and to ask me anything in chat. I'm going to be trying my best to stream more regularly, and I'd appreciate it if you guys went over there and followed me. As always guys, my name is Bodytags. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to have a happy Thanksgiving.